A quick warning before we start. This guide is a spoiler for the second half of the Dawntrail story. If you aren't up to this yet, I'd recommend clicking away and coming back when you're up to this part. If you don't mind being spoiled or you're ready to go, let's continue. Hi, I'm the Scrub and you're here for one reason. The Tyrant has started harvesting his own people to feast on their souls and make himself more powerful. Not going to say, why didn't I think of that? Because I don't need other people to curb stomp gods into the ground. So we're going to climb this soul processing facility to the very top and confront this false monarch. You have selected Regicide. Time to learn about Origenics. Simplified. If you're using the duty support system, I'd recommend single pulling this dungeon. Head forward and pick up the 2 Cyclops. Turn right and continue to the wall and pick up the next pack of mobs. Kill everything. After everything has been defeated, the door will open and you can head through to the next area. Interact with the elevator console on the far left. When the door opens, make your way around the cages and pull the 3 sentries. Nuke everything and the doors at the far end of the room will open. Head through these doors, turn left and make your way around the storage containers to use the ramp to go through to the next area. First boss time. Strident Shriek is a room-wide AoE. The boss will move to the north end of the room and cast Vasoconstrictor, which will place 2 small green AoEs just outside its hitbox. Slimes will land on these AoEs. If you're underneath these slimes when they land, you'll get a Vuln stack. If you run through these slimes after they have been put down, you'll get a Toxicosis Dock Tick for 15 seconds. The boss will raise one of its legs and hover over one of the slimes while casting Venom Spill. When the cast ends, the leg will club the slime and squirt out multiple AoEs that will predominantly cover the half of the arena on the same side as the pummeled slime. The AoEs will be scattered and can overlap into the opposing half, so you'll need to position yourself to be well on the other half of the room to the slime being squished to avoid the AoEs. This attack will happen several times in a row, and the boss can also raise the same leg back to back, so you'll need to pay attention to which leg is being raised and move to the safe side of each cast. If you get hit by any of the scattered AoEs, you'll get a Vuln stack. The boss will move into the middle of the room and cast Writhing Riot. This will be 3 red AoEs back to back that will be in a random order. The AoEs will either be a 210-degree AoE swing from the right or left of the boss, or a 90-degree conal AoE directly behind it. The easiest way to solve this mechanic is to ignore the conal AoE entirely. We are going to stand well inside the hitbox of the boss, in line with the arrows on the side of the hitbox on whichever side of the 2 remaining AoEs are not being cleaved first. Whenever the first sweeping AoE goes out, you can move over just a few steps onto the other side of the boss and you'll dodge the rest of the AoEs. Getting hit by any of these AoEs will give you a Vuln stack. After another room-wide AoE, the boss will move back to the northern part of the arena and cast Vasoconstrictor to create the slimes again. During the final 2 hits of the slimes, all players will get a point-blank AoE, so you'll need to dodge the slimes' AoEs and spread out as best you can to avoid overlapping the point-blank AoEs. Collective Agony will give one player a straight line stack marker. Group up to share the damage. And Convulsive Crush is a tank buster. Squish. From here, the boss will repeat mechanics until it has been defeated. The elevator will come to a stop and you can exit on the east side of the platform. After you enter the next room, there will be a holographically camouflaged wall. Walk through this wall and the camouflage will be removed. Follow the path as more sentries will be aggroed from the other side. Pick up the sentries and continue to the end of the path where 3 turrets will spawn in and become targetable. Group everything up, avoid all of the AoEs as best you can, and kill everything. When everything has been defeated, the transportation pad will light up and walking onto it will take you to the next area. Step off the platform and turn right to follow the walkway. Pick up the 2 aerostats and follow the path towards the end of the corridor where 3 more sentries will appear from around the last corner. Avoid all of the donut and point-blank AoEs as best you can and kill everything. When everything has been defeated, the door at the end of the corridor on the right will open and it's second boss time. Electro Wave is a room-wide AoE. The first time this is cast, it will bathe the outside of the arena in a purple electric glow. Touching this wall will give you an electrocution dot tick for 15 seconds. Deceiver will move into the middle of the room and cast Bionic Thrash. It will raise its tentacled hands to be over opposite quadrants of the arena. This will cleave the entire quadrant that they are raised over, so you'll need to get to one of the untargeted corners of the arena to dodge this attack. Getting hit by any of these AoEs will give you a Vuln stack. The cast of initialized androids will spawn a row of untargetable sentries on the north end of the arena. Every second sentry in this row will be pixelated as if it were a hologram. These are the ads that will be fake for the upcoming cast. All of the ads will then raise their weapons and fire a straight line AoE across the arena. You'll need to move into an AoE that will be in line of a fake ad, as this AoE won't fire. If you're in the AoE of a real ad as it goes off, you'll get a Vuln stack. After the AoEs are fired, all of the real sentries will become targetable and can easily be defeated. Deceiver will move back into the middle of the room and cast Initialized Turrets. This will create 4 AoEs on the wall that will transform into rectangular laser cannons. 2 of these cannons will be pixelated and fake, and the other 2 will be real. You'll need to stand in the line of a fake cannon to dodge the attack. Getting hit by a real cannon will give you a Vuln stack. This will be followed by another set of cannons that will be on the opposite wall, so move quickly to stand in the path of a fake cannon to dodge the AoEs. Deceiver will then move to the north side of the arena and cast Surge. Surge. This will be a heavy straight line knockback through the middle of the arena out to the east and west sides. You'll need to stand in the path of a real cannon to be blocked from being sent straight into the wall. At the same time as this, everyone will get a point blank AoE, so everyone will also need to spread out to avoid overlapping these. The next cast of initialized androids will only have 2 pixelated fake androids. You'll need to move to the straight line AoE created by these fake androids for what comes next. Deceiver will move into the middle of the arena and cast another bionic thrash, so you'll need to stay within the confines of the straight line AoE as well as being on the correct quadrant to avoid being hit by the tentacled hands. Again, all of the ads will become targetable and can be destroyed easily. From here, mechanics will repeat until Deceiver has been defeated. Exit out of the arena and walk into the pneumatic tube to be taken to the next area. As you land, turn right and make your way through the facility. There will be 4 sentries that will aggro you as you approach. As you defeat these enemies, the next door will open and there will be 2 more mobs that will immediately aggro the closest player. Avoid all of the AoEs of these enemies and nuke them both down. After these 2 have been defeated, you can approach the door to the north, which will automatically open. As you walk through the next room, the door to the right will open and 2 Eyeborgs will need to be picked up. These Eyeborgs will cast 100-ton swing with a medium-sized AoE around themselves. If you get hit by this, it will be a slight knockback. Drag these mobs across the room to the door on the left, which will open up, and on the other side will be an Automatoise. The Mega Blastoise will cast Hard Stomp, which will be a very large AoE around itself. Getting hit by this will give you a heavy hit and a bit of a knockback, but the knockback can be negated with Arm's Length or Shorecast. Additionally, if you want to avoid the massive AoE, you can't stun this mob, but it can be put to sleep. When the turtle has been defeated, the door will open on the far side of the room, and it's final boss time. Psychic Wave is a room-wide AoE. The first time this is cast, it will bathe the outside of the arena in a shadowy electric haze. Touching this wall will give you an electrocution dot tick for 15 seconds. The boss will move into the middle of the room and cast Overwhelming Charge, which will be an arena-wide straight line cleave in the direction it's facing. You'll just need to move behind it to dodge the attack. Getting hit by this will give you a Vuln stack. Dean Ambrose will move to the north end of the arena and cast Psychokinesis. There will be text on screen and in the chat that says, "The nearby cages are under strain from Psychokinesis." There will be 1 cage door on the west and east sides of the arena which will begin to glow. These will send out a straight line AoE in front of them as the cage door tumbles across the arena. You'll just need to get into the row where a cage door is not glowing to dodge the attack. Getting hit by a flying cage door will give you a Vuln stack. As the AoEs go out, 3 ads will be released from the cages and enter the fight. An Eyeborg and 2 Superfluities. Defeat the extra enemies as quickly as you can. The cast of Extrasensory Field will split the arena into 4 quadrants that will all have a conveyor belt of arrows moving through them. You will want to position yourself to be on a quadrant that has its arrows pointing towards the middle of the arena. There will be 1 of these quadrants on either side of the boss. The other 2 quadrants will have their arrows pointing towards the wall. The arrows will send you approximately halfway across the arena in the direction that they travel. If you're standing on the wrong quadrant, you'll be sent into the wall. You can also use knockback immunity to nullify the push. Voltaic Slash is a tank buster. Psychokinetic Charge will be a combination of the conveyor belt quadrants of Extrasensory Fluid and the Overwhelming Charge arena-wide straight line AoE. So you'll need to position yourself to stand on the correct quadrant in front of the boss that will push you behind it to avoid the AoE. Ambrose will move to the north end of the arena and cast Electro Lance. This will put a large circular AoE on the south end of the arena. Ambrose will throw its lance that will anchor itself in the ground. Ambrose will then tether itself to the lance and cast Psychokinesis. This will spawn a thin red line that will bounce off the walls of the arena. This line will not be visible for long, so you'll need to keep an eye out for it. After the line is fully faded away, the lance will begin to cleave its way through the arena following the path that was just laid out. The AoEs will be thicker than you're anticipating, so be aware of that as it starts to move. The easiest spot to stay safe is on the side of the arena in between 2 points where the line bounced off the wall. It will miss these spots as the final destination for the lance will always be back with Ambrose. Within the safe area will be a spot where the melees can still hit the boss. It will be close to the cut corner of the dark shapes on the ground. You can stand just in front of this line and be safe while still hitting the boss. If you get hit by the dashing lance, you'll get a Vuln stack. There will be another cast of Psychokinesis with the addition of every player getting a point blank AoE, so everyone will need to spread out in the safe zone and avoid overlapping these AoEs. And there will be another Psychokinetic Charge which will also have another set of point blank AoEs to all players. So everyone will either need to take the correct quadrant and then spread out on the safe half of the arena, or use knockback immunity and then spread out to avoid overlapping the AoEs. From here, mechanics will repeat until Ambrose has been defeated. Congratulations, you have completed Origenics. My name is The Scrub. Thank you for watching.